I'm happy to get to have a conversation with you. I don't know whether I should say good evening and good morning, let's start from where you are, just in case people don't understand why we decided to get to have a Zoom interview with you.
Yeah, I'm actually in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
We're about 9 hours ahead of Lusaka time. So this is the reason why we're having a Zoom. Uh,
Mm. How's Australia doing?
yeah, Australia is doing well. Yeah, everything is going well here.
Mhm.
Yeah, we came out of the pandemic like everybody else, so things are starting to pick up. I
Are
don't know
there
how
any
Zambia.
countries in Australia that the pandemic might still come back, or maybe still there? How are the statistics in line with the COVID?
Uh, to be honest, the statistics are low. At the moment, we don't have many cases, but of course, there are a few cases happening,
Are they,
but it's not that aggressive.
okay. All right. So I did an intro trying to find out about your EP, and basically, maybe let's start with your highlight this year, 2022, from your side. How has it been?
I must say it's been good, but at the same time, there have been challenges in my life. But overall, it's been a good year. I've tried to do one or two things that I'm really thankful for.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
so
let's
it's
talk
been a
about
mix.
the EP that you recently dropped, which is available for streaming. Maybe give us some highlights of the information that we need to know about it.
Oh yeah, my EP actually got released on the 23rd of December. The title is Samara Mapunziro. The EP itself is mainly based on my life experience, and I'm trying to share my life experience with the audience. It's kind of different sound, as you may come to hear the songs. It's a kind of a mixture of reggae and also Afrobeat. So modern reggae fusion and a bit of Afrobeat. Yeah, there are
Mhm.
about 6 songs.
Mhm. So maybe I would like to find out, in line with the same EP. The other thing I'd like to find out is there a type of message that you are trying to bring out that we should know about?
Mainly for myself, like I said, it's conscious music. So the message is conscious music. I've always wanted to create a sound where people can listen to it and at the same time reflect on the lessons that I'm trying to portray. So if you talk about the title itself, Tamara Mapunzilo, the song in itself is like a piece of advice to the young, to the youth, basically to focus on education, because education, as you may know, opens many doors. Is the reason why I'm actually speaking to you now. It's because of the time I spent, studying and trying several things, and all that happened through education. So I know the value that education brings to somebody's life. And if you look at my background, for instance, well, I don't come from a rich background. I come from basically ground zero, where I started building things, from scratch. But education was a key leverage in helping me to reach this status in my life.
Mhm. Maybe let's try to run through song by song. How many songs are in the EP? And when you were writing the same EP, each song, I'm sure you paid too much attention to each song, like it's just a single song. But let's talk about each song and why the titles of the songs.
Okay, yeah. So there are 6 songs on the EP. Of course, I did record many songs, but we decided to have like only 6 songs released. The first one is Kulibe. Kulibe is a song that talks about worry. We human beings, especially now in the modern world, we are so much worried about so many things that are happening. And despite all our worries, I was just trying to share a message there, that to say, look, no matter how much you worry about events happening in your life, you can never extend your life. There's a supreme being, there's God above us, who really knows how long we'll be on this planet Earth. So I spent a bit of time there reflecting on some of the challenges I was facing and some of the challenges my friends were facing. And, through it all, I decided to come up with this song, Kolibe. So it's a reflective song. If you listen to it, well, I'm just saying, don't worry about so many things happening. If you worry, you have to take action. Uh, Pray, do something to kind of overcome that worry, but don't stay down, always worrying. So that's the Kolibe song.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then there's a song number 2. It's Obwenzi. Obwenzi, basically, it's a song about friendship. It's a song where I'm just advising people, like, look, don't have one-sided friendship. As you know, friendship is kind of hard. Friendship is kind of hard work. It has to be balanced. There's no way it should be one-sided. You can never have friends who only show up when good things are happening in your life, and when things are going wrong, then they disappear. You don't have fake friends. When you reach, especially our age group, where we're above 40, there is no time to really pretend and say things are happening well when actually maybe your friends are actually disrupting your vision. So ensure that you spend a bit of time to filter your friends, and that's the message. That song, of course, myself, I've gone through a lot in life, and I'm not gonna lie. There've been a lot of ups and downs, and this song, when I was writing about it, actually, it reminded me of the advice that my parents once gave me. They simply said, "My friend, you have to spend a bit of time filtering your friends, because your friends can either take you up or bring you down." So, yeah, Obwenzi is a song that mainly reflects on friendship. So I believe when people listen to it, there's a bit of sense there. I hope it can bring that discussion in people's lives and say, look, my daughter, my son, look, you need to do a bit of soul searching when it comes to the people who are in your inner circle. That's the friends. Yeah.
And the other song, track number 3.
And number 3 is Chaloni Bonzo. Yeah, so Chaloni Bonzo, it's a good song. I really like that song, actually, because
Yes.
having moved from Zambia to this place and having traveled around the world, oftentimes we tend to think that when you are out there, you may be able to solve many problems, your personal and other people's problems, all right? But the truth is, there's no single person here on earth who can solve everything. Like the song itself, Charani Bonzo, the world is just like a bond. You chew some, you leave some. So yeah, you have to be very careful when you decide to take on other people's problems. You're not gonna solve everybody's problems. For instance, Jesus was here on earth. Did he solve everything? No, but he gave us some values and some good laws on how to live our lives. And of course, you have to be helpful, but remember, you're not going to be here forever. So Charani Bonzo is also a good song.
Okay,
Yep.
so move on to track number 4 as well. What's the title and what's the message behind the song?
Track number 4 is Be Humble. Be Humble is a song actually that talks about not letting your ego take over everything, because when you go up, whether you are educated, whether you become a successful politician, whether you are a successful business person, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are doing, you are just bringing value to the human beings. You are serving the society. So don't let your success blind you. That's the message about that. So it's all about being humble, do the best thing that you can do. And also remember, when you make mistakes, people tend to focus on your mistakes more than your success. So be humble in every situation. So that's a message on track number 4.
2 more songs remaining. That's track number 5 and number 6.
Yeah, number 5 is Samala Mapunzilo, the title for the EP. Like I mentioned from the intro, I was basically, when I wrote this song, I was really reflecting on my life and about what education did in my life. So I'm just advising the young people out there, especially now where there's so much social media influence. As you play, as you do your things, remember education is the thing that will elevate you. Uh, of course, your talent may elevate you as well, but if you're given the opportunity to study, use it to the max. So that's a message on Samala Mapunzilo. Listen to your parents, you listen to your guardians, and focus on studies when you're young. Don't get so much distracted by, fame when you're still young.
Mm-hmm. And the last one, which is track number 6.
Yeah, track number 6 is Neka. I did that song with a lady called uh, Luna Gray. Basically, that song tells a story about about an old person who was worrying so much about the world, and he said, "Look, if I had the superpowers, what would I do to change the world?" So it goes on to say, "Look, I could change this and that." So it's a song that really just it's a funny twist of life. Like we all human beings tend to think we can. We all wish we had superpowers. All right, we all wish we had superpowers, but how we can use them would depend from one person to another. So from individual to individual. So that's a song that will just make people think, what was this thinking about? And also there's an element of where when you work hard, other people tend to overjudge you. You're showing off. Yeah, but don't forget your effort. Whatever you sow, you will reap. So there's that element of nature where like you work so hard, and yeah, you end up benefiting. You end up reaping the reward. So yeah, it's a song that's got two elements, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing I like to find out, since you have also explained on some of the songs that are in the EP, we can also want to get to find out is your audience just in Zambia, since you are in diaspora in Australia as a Zambian, you've been there for a while now. Are you also trying to the same message? Can it apply to where you are?
Yeah, definitely. My message is universal. The challenges that people face back home in Zambia, as well as here in Australia, though being a very advanced economy, they are the same. On the social level, they are the same. Friendships, disappointments, they are always there. Mental issues, of worrying about this and that, always there. Uh, Education is a big thing here. Like in Melbourne, there's the number one city when it comes to education. There are unis everywhere, universities everywhere, and students from all over the world come here to study. So yeah. So though I study in my, of course, local language, Nyanja, really those messages can be translated here, and I've got an audience here in Australia. Before releasing this album, EP, the audience from here did listen to it, and I was able to translate what the songs mean, and they really appreciated the sound. And yeah,
How,
so
how,
I
how
would say
is
yeah.
the networking with fellow Zambians who are in Australia? Are you like maybe isolated? Do you sometimes have conversations with born and bred Zambians? You know, tulanda ti olupwa vantu wikala na vena. Family is
Yes.
everything. It doesn't matter where you are. People who are close. Do you also sometimes have like gathering with fellow Zambians who are also in Australia?
Oh yes. To be honest, of late it's been kind of slow, but previously, just before the pandemic, the interaction was so much. We were interacting quite a lot. We still do. I remember there are churches here, African churches. We go to African communities if there are events, Independence Day, if there are cultural events happening in the city. We go there. So there's always that multicultural interaction. It's not just limited to Zambians, by the way. One thing that you must understand is that when people move into into the diaspora, they actually forget about their countries. When we are here, we are all Africans. We don't say I'm Zambian or what. Whenever we meet, we call ourselves African. No, it's fellow Africans, and we share our ideas, our values, and also business opportunities from time to time. Yeah. So the networking also in the music industry is quite good, and the opportunities are massive, to be honest.
Mhm. All right. So the other thing I want to find out, since your EP is out, where can people find it? Maybe some other necessary information. You know, now we are in a generation where streaming is one of the things that we've been preaching about. I'd like to find out, where can people access the EP?
So my EP is available on Spotify, Boomplay, iTunes. Basically, it's on over 150 streaming platforms. So whenever you are on one of these major streaming platforms, just type in Chalice, and you're gonna see my possibly my name come up there, and that's my EP should be available. So also on YouTube, though I've not created the videos, but YouTube radio, my songs are there as well. Facebook, if you're on Facebook as well, you can search my music will be there. TikTok, if you search my name, will be there. Basically everywhere. Instagram as well. So yes, my songs should be available everywhere. Should be easily accessible for people who want to listen to my message.
Since the year is also coming to an end, maybe a quick one. Is there any message that you have to people back home that are watching this show right now that you feel like you have always wanted to address?
One message I want to say is always be hopeful. As Zambians, we should always be hopeful that things will turn out good. I know there was a change of leadership, and there could be challenges happening here and there. I've heard people complaining this and that, but change, whatever change comes, there's a bit of pain. You have to endure. You have to be hopeful because sometimes you don't reap the rewards there and then. It takes time. Like if you look at these countries that where we are living here, they didn't become successful overnight. It took good leadership, and just by that I mean visionary leadership, not just any ordinary leaders. People who just come and reap their rewards today, or within 5 years they leave. People who leave a legacy. So I'm hoping that my country will move forward, and there'll be great ideas coming to transform our economies, especially now. Like I'll give an example here. There's artificial intelligence that I'm actually utilizing to do some of the major projects. I hope it will come to Zambia at some point, and we'll be able to show Zambians on how we can possibly create thousands of jobs. But look, I'm not a politician. I'm a business person, and I do music on the side. But I'm also an engineer. I run my own business. And I hope at one stage I'll be able to contribute effectively to my country. So I only wish Zambians there happy New Year.
As we wrap it up with this conversation, the other thing I'd like to find out from you is also, what's your dream for Zambia? What would Chalesi want to do maybe in 10 years, 5 years for your country?
Well, to be honest, I've got a big vision, and I'm not sure whether it's the right stage, it's the right time to actually announce this. But all I can say is myself and some other individuals, we are working on a major project, and we hope once we review that project, there'll be so many people who come on board to actually support us. And the project itself is going to do so much in terms of developing some places. Could be Kabwe, it could be any other place, but it will be kind of a visionary project. I don't think somebody who at this stage will be able to say, I've ever done something like this. But it's not going to be it won't be a cheap project. It will be very expensive, all right? So there's a lot of planning in the background happening, and I'm already doing some kind of background work. So just hope for something good. Definitely, I want to do something great there. But of course, I'm at this stage where I'm doing a lot of networking with the right people. So when we announce, people should be able to support it, hopefully, because this will be like something that will possibly involve government and also some other private investors.
Amazing. So, do we expect any videos from the EP? I know I said my last question, but do we expect any videos from the EP? If
Uh,
yes, what's the duration?
possibly,
When do we
yeah,
expect it?
possibly there will be one video coming, but it could be not so soon. Of course, you possibly see one or two videos coming based on how people receive the EP, because we just gauging the statistics and see which song we may need to actually focus on in terms of releasing a video or two videos. Yeah, so we just want to see the stats. Already Spotify is showing us, okay, this song is on number one. People are listening to it quite a bit. So let's see how Zambians support me, and we'll be able to do great stuff, to be honest, PMC.
What and hoping that we get to do a follow-up conversations to get find out how many numbers are we getting maybe in 2023.
Yeah.
But compliments of the season, and wish you all the best for next year. I
Yeah,
know your EP
compliments of the
drops.
season. Yes, compliments of the season to you too, PMC and Prime Television. I really appreciate for giving me the opportunity to actually speak on your program. So
Amazing.
yes, I wish you all good luck in the coming year.
Yeah. Like we always say right here on the show, saying we can have a conversation with anyone. That's Charles. Go check out his brand new EP. Amazing piece of work. Some time to get to listen to a couple of songs from the EP. And I'm sure you are going to love the message behind the EP right there. From the title of the songs, you tell that that's like timeless music, because not just music for today, but for many years to come right there. So yeah, let's support our own. It doesn't matter where you are from, for as long as you're Mozambian, you are Kwatu, you're Muntu